Today I listened to a debate between Dr. John Shook and Dr. Doug Revert on Does God Exist? I listened to all three parts of the debate. I want to emphasize something in part 3, which was the question and answer section. One of the questioners asked, "What is God?" Dr. Shook took the naturalistic point of view, and Dr. Revert took the theistic point of view. Dr. Revert told the person asking the question that his conception of God is a timeless, immaterial, spaceless, personal being of great power and intelligence that created the universe and sustains its existence. What does this definition or conception explain? Nothing. This definition is just a bunch of words that does not explain a damn thing. I think Dr. Carl Sagan stated it best in Demon Hunted World in the chapter that there's a dragon in my garage, in which the person claims that there's an invisible fire-breathing dragon living in their garage. So the skeptic tells the claimant to put powder on the floor so we can see its footprints. And the claimant responds by saying that the dragon is hovering off the ground. Next, it is suggested that we use an infrared telescope to see its fire or its body. And the claimant claims that its fire and body and his body's heat are invisible to infrared. So everything that the skeptic suggests is offered an excuse. So the skeptic is left concluding, because of the lack of evidence, that there is no dragon in the garage. Dr. Revert's argument was, we know of no event that begins to exist that does not have a cause. There is a zero probability that things exist without a cause. The Big Bang singularity began to exist, therefore the Big Bang has a cause. He next states that the cause of the Big Bang, and by extension the universe, cannot be an event within the universe. The cause must be transcendent, timeless, spaceless, personal, intelligent, and extremely powerful. This argument only proves through its premises that at best the universe may have had a cause, if it had a beginning, which we don't know. What exists before the Big Bang, nothing else is proven, especially that there is a timeless, immaterial, spaceless, personal being of great power and intelligence. Dr. Revert's opening statement is basically a rehashed version of Dr. William Lane Craig's Kalam argument, his fine-tuning argument, and objective morality. The same old arguments that apologists always use. At least Burger King and McDonald's change up their hamburgers by adding Swiss cheese and mushrooms and other combinations, even though, when it's all said and done, it's still a burger. But these guys don't even bother to change it up. They use the same lame game plan, which, when all is said and done, they haven't said a thing. I consider myself a temporary agnostic in principle. For those of you who have read Richard Dawkins' book, The God Delusion, I consider myself a 6 on the scale with atheistic leanings. Because, in principle, because of the unknowns. That is, there are driving forces behind evolution, the Big Bang, and other things like the principle of uncertainty. If science answers these questions, or whatever these unknown forces are, if they're mechanistic or naturally random occurring events, with proven evidence that there are no supernatural forces, then I will be a 7, I guess, a full-blown positive atheist, because this is what the evidence points to. Nevertheless, I live my life as if no supernatural force exists. But because, like the invisible dragon in the garage analogy, there is no concrete evidence, I do feel the burden of proof is on the person who is making a positive claim. Like the person claiming that there's an invisible dragon, I am within my rights to doubt the existence of a timeless, immaterial, spaceless personal being of great power and intelligence, when all the claimant is bringing to the discussion is a meaningless premises and definitions. To me, the apologist to me is more evidence of this personal being. Is more evidence that this personal being does not exist. Because if you have to get up to defend the existence of your God, and he, she, or it cannot do it for themselves, then I don't want to worship or believe in that God. Back to my point. I am an agnostic because of the limits of my natural physical mind and understanding. But I default towards atheism because I live as if such a being does not exist. Until this evidence is proven beyond a reasonable doubt, I see no need to believe. Until these apologists do like Elijah in the Old Testament, when he challenged the priests of Baal to a contest between Baal and Yahweh or Jehovah. That is, until they can call down fire from heaven over some watered down meat, I will be an atheist in the verbal, meaningless premises and concepts they call God.